I wanted to show you somebody that is attempting, because you know what you have right now? This is something you hear a lot about. What you hear a lot about from these people is that the left is just as bad. The left is just as bad, man. And like I said, you even get some of the lefties involved. Some of the lefties are like, they're not wrong. Because lefties like to eat each other. Lefties love to disagree on one fucking thing and then just cause a fucking party-destroying fracture. We are the most masochistic fucking people on this planet. Are you pro-choice? Yeah, I'm pro-choice. You pro-Palestine? Yeah, I'm pro-Palestine. How do you feel about gun rights? Well, you know, I do like to be able to own my gun. Oh, fuck you! You're a fucking right-wing conservative! I watch you guys do this shit all the time. It's fucking hilarious. Also not funny. I like bring up random ass streamers that I'm just like, look at this thing, this smart thing this guy said. And it's like, you know, back in '84, actually, he had a drunk driving where he clipped a lady and she broke her leg, and he's probably the worst human being that's ever lived. You guys gotta fucking stop. Yeah. Because the reason I'm saying all this shit to you fuckers, okay? The reason I'm saying this is because I know one of you fucking bastards are about to, as soon as I pull this goddamn video up, you're going to be like, well, you know the problem with Bernie is... I do love that you guys are self-critical. I like that shit. You guys just take that shit too far. Nobody's perfect. We're all flawed. We all say dumb shit. We all make bad decisions. We all fucking have shitty opinions on certain things. You're not perfect, and neither am I. And I swear to God, the first one of you going on Bernie. If I could ban you, I can't. But I will. On my channel, I see one of you talk shit about Bernie, you're getting tossed. Just letting you guys know. I don't ban any, just so you guys know, I never ban anybody on my channel. Well, I do ban some people, but for certain specific reasons. But this is one of them. This is one of them right here. I told you guys, I say whatever I want. Matt one day is going to have to probably fire me. Love you, Matt. Love you, Matt. All right. So this video is about Bernie Sanders getting taken to the Trump country. Because like I said, all you hear about is how the left is just as bad. The right constantly says the left is the one creating the political violence. The left, like... Generally, it's just the left is actually worse, but if you corner one of these Trump supporters or Republicans with logic and facts, what they do is they go, well, actually, both sides. But this is what Bernie is doing. Bernie has been going around to predominantly red districts and holding fucking rallies to try to convince blue-collar, middle-class, working-class people that your enemy is not transgender people. Your enemy is not immigrants. Your enemy is the person who is literally bleeding you fucking dry and stealing everything that you have ever worked hard for, and that is oligarchs and fucking ultra-wealthy corporations. And I just want to watch this because this is the kind of shit that makes me happy.
Oh, that's my son. Hey, what's going on? They're having a video shot here, and it's about Bernie Sanders coming to town, and they know that we're all Trump supporters.
I wonder how they knew this guy was a Trump supporter. It boggles the mind. How do you know people are Trump supporters? It's so hard to tell. It's not like they wear merchandise or a uniform.
And they know that we're all Trump supporters.
What happens when you put Bernie Sanders in a room full of Trump voters?
I was shocked. I was like, oh.
Not as bad as they had told you, huh?
This is not how he's portrayed.
He's the most evil communist that has ever existed. He's worse than Stalin. He's worse than Lenin. He's worse than Marx. He's practically Satan. Bernie Sanders.
It's complicated. But then again, so is West Virginia.
This is West, by God, Virginia.
A state that voted blue for almost 80 years straight until it flipped hard to become the second reddest state in the country.
This is a state where Donald Trump got 70%.
Really?
And it makes sense. I've told you guys before, like, I come from a white trash background. I'm very trailer park, right? Like, I grew up in all the worst places. And I can tell you, like, 10, 15 years ago, if you would have asked me, like, my opinions on Donald Trump, I probably been like, whatever. Like, I don't know. He's successful. Like, I mean, he's got a lot of money. Because the mentality for poor people, oftentimes, this is something you would hear. Is like, you would say something bad about Trump. You would say Donald Trump is dumb. Donald Trump isn't the smartest human being. Something that you would hear me say is that he's the stupidest human being. And the reaction you would get from people in the trailer park, the reaction you get from very white trash people, is that you would hear, how much money do you got? Which is a fucking crazy argument to make. Because that means all the liberals are also smarter than you. Because for the most part, liberals are actually making a lot more money than you in the trailer park. I know that's hard to believe. But by your own logic, every Democrat pretty much is smarter than you are. But that would be the argument. It's when you talk about West Virginia, 70% of it going to Trump, it does make sense if you come from the same background as I do. Because those people look at people that are successful as being people that are intelligent, because we conflate monetary value with being a successful human being, and that's crazy. It is, because if you think about it, it's actually the opposite of what it should be. What we should be thinking as people that live in trailer parks that are impoverished is that you should take care of each other. Because if there's something that you can understand coming from there, is what it is like to be there, to have empathy for people, compassion for people. But you actually learn the opposite. You actually learn, growing up in that situation, to instead hate compassion, hate empathy, because you feel like it's a weakness. For a long time, if you ask me, do you think people should get social safety nets? Do you think that people should, be able to get this or get that from the government? I probably would have told you no. And the reason that I would have told you that was because I would have fallen for the same rhetoric that many of these people fall for. And that is, well, I did it. I got out of there. I'm successful now. I've accomplished what I have. And that is completely disregarding that the way that I got out of there was through social safety nets, through the welfare system, through food stamps, through homeless shelters. And it took having good people in my life, my wife, people like my wife, challenging me on my viewpoints to get me to a place where I could say, I have pretty bad opinions on a lot of subjects. I like to read. I like to learn. Maybe I should take advantage of that. And maybe I should become a better educated, less ignorant person that can make better decisions that could help other people, which in turn could make me a happier person. And that's what we see with a place like West Virginia.
It's easy to assume that West Virginia will be red forever, but I'm not so sure. I live here, and I talk to a lot of Trump voters about floods that leveled their homes, power bills that climb every year, and you'd be surprised how many of them sound like Bernie Sanders.
The billionaires,
It's
they don't
fucking
need a
crazy.
tax break.
They're trying to give all the billionaires.
By the way, in 2016, if you had asked me my opinion of Bernie Sanders, it would have been a really bad opinion. Oh, you can't pay for that. Who's going to pay for all that? I probably spoke in a very country accent at that time. I literally, I was part of the problem.
And rich people breaks. That's the opposite of what you should be doing.
So when I heard that Bernie was rolling through, I wanted to know, can a Democratic socialist from Vermont, who's not even running for president, connect in the heart of Trump country?
All right, where should I sit? I'm in the middle here.
And what would it mean for the rest of the country if he did.
You started with Trump, and then now your whole volunteer.
A whole volunteer for Bernie Sanders. He's just ultra liberal. He's a socialist.
I'm sorry to get everybody in trouble here.
And
I like that too. He says he's a socialist, but here's the thing: is that should people need to take the power from that word. There is nothing wrong with saying the word socialist. It is a word that embodies empathy. It is a word that takes into account the needs of others. It is a word that says that ultra wealthy oligarchs shouldn't be able to take advantage of working class people. The demonization of a word like socialism is why we are in the predicament that we are in right now. So one of the things that I think that many people need to do, specifically like establishment Democrats, liberals, moderate Democrats, is when somebody says something like Bernie is a socialist, you shouldn't feel offended. You should actually be like, yes, he is. And you should listen to his ideas. And then you should tell me what you don't like about them.
I got to drive him around in my truck and find out.
Senator, welcome back to West Virginia. I know it's not your first time here.
No, it is not. Been here several times, and I must tell you, I love the state, actually. It's a beautiful state, and I very much enjoy the people. Very down-to-earth, working-class people. You know, we campaigned here very vigorously.
Yeah.
In 2016.
Yes.
And we had to take on Hillary Clinton and Joe Manchin and the whole Democratic Party establishment.
Fuck Joe Manchin.
We went to places where politicians don't usually go, including McDowell County, down in the southern part of the state.
Bernie Sanders, who joins me now.
We are the only major country on earth that doesn't guarantee health care to all people as a right. What do you think? Do you think we should join other countries and guarantee health care as a right of all?
Yeah, I think every American citizen should have health care.
We ended up winning West Virginia. We won every single county in the state.
In 2016, Bernie didn't just win West Virginia. He shocked everybody who thought they had this place figured out.
We've won a big victory in West Virginia.
But that was just a Democratic primary in 2016. The real question is, how does Bernie's message land with Trump voters in 2025?
All right, I'm going to ask you a question, and then you come back to me. Sound good? All right, talk about health care here in Mingo County. What's the story? I see a hand woman right here. Please stand up.
Hi, my name is Sheila Rose, and I ended up back in Mingo County where I grew up after a chronic illness paralyzed me about 4 years ago. I've come a long way since then, but anytime I need to see a specialist, it's a 2-hour trip. Anytime I need a referral to a new specialist, it's a 6-month wait. There is no way to stay healthy in Mingo County.
Mingo County is in the southern coal fields of West Virginia.
And see, this is, something Benjamin Dixon said that actually, it rings true. And it comes from also the video I was watching earlier on morality and ethics, is that two things can be true. You can be mad at people for voting for Trump and still hope that those people have redeemable traits. I think that that's really important because I believe in balance, right? I believe in balance. I think that you can't lose yourself in fighting the fight that is necessary to fight. So you need to both understand that one thing is true, that you cannot be forgiving in the face of an authoritarian, but you can also hope that there are still people that have chosen to do what they have done out of ignorance, not out of hate, or that they are even hateful because they are ignorant. And something that Bernie brings out that I think really should give people hope is that he does show the human side of people. That woman if I'm sure I sat down with talked to her, would probably say some things to me that I would find absolutely out of this fucking world. But it doesn't mean that I don't have empathy for her. That when she talks about her health care, when she talks about being paralyzed, does that still reach somewhere deep inside of me that feels for that? Like, of course it does. And this is the important distinction between people that are too soft and people that are too hard. You should be neither. What is it? It was Bruce Lee. You got to be like water. And you got to fit the situation for what it is. And that means when it's time to be mad and when it's time to express yourself in words that are not soft, you should be capable of doing that. And then at other times, when it is time to feel empathy and it is time to offer passive redemption to people and show that you can be the benevolent victor, then you should. And, you know, I think that Bernie embodies that. And I think that I also need that path to redemption. Because in 2016, you know, did I give a shit that Bernie won West Virginia? No, I didn't care. I was apathetic. I thought, fuck Hillary, fuck Trump, fuck Bernie, fuck all these people. They all suck. And part of that ignorance is why we are in the situation that we are today. But if you choose to say, okay, well, you had that opinion 8 years ago, 9 years ago, so you can pretty much go fuck yourself. I'm never going to support you or listen to any of your opinions or anything like that. Then okay, then that's your choice to do that, but you're literally putting yourself at a disadvantage. I've said before, I have about a 3.5 year shelf life on this side of the left because oftentimes I say things that people on the left don't like. But when it comes to values, fundamentally, we agree on 95% of the things that I believe and you believe. And you can choose to accept that at one point or another, or even now, that I was a flawed human being and am still a flawed human being. Or you can choose to believe that somewhere out there, there's a perfect person that represents every single one of your values. And you can be unhappy and you can lose for the rest of your lives. That's really where we're at right now. In the face of authoritarianism, we must find a way to come together and say, enough is fucking enough. We're not going to allow an authoritarian to do to us and to the people that we love the things that they are doing while we fight with each other. We are going to get the best possible person that we can for the time being into that office, and then we can go back to choking each other out on the sidewalk. Fuck, do it on YouTube and make some money off of it.
For generations, people here dug the coal that lit America's cities and kept the factories running. Now, the coal jobs are mostly gone. And what's left is poverty on a scale that rivals anywhere in the United States.
Like, you can have empathy
for that. It's crying at the grocery store, choosing between paying a bill or having food in the cabinet or the refrigerator. It affects your health, and then you don't have health care. Child care is ridiculously expensive, so it's very stressful.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mingo County, like the rest of the state, went big for Donald Trump. So we followed up with some of his voters over biscuits and coffee to find out what that's all about.
I would have been nervous with a lot of different, like, you know, celebrities or politicians, but you just seem so normal. Like, you're like obviously just like a normal human.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for the damn breakfast here. I'm starving.
We already ate.
I would love to take an inventory of just personal politics in the last couple of years. Can we start off with that?
You're gonna start with me?
Yeah, we'll start with you. Yeah.
I am independent, but I lean conservative. I not as much anymore as I used to, but I did vote for Trump. But I did post on my Facebook page, instead of I voted, I put I vomited because I didn't want to, but I didn't, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I voted Republican. I agree with some things of Trump, but most I do not right now.
Right.
I do not, no.
And John, what's that like for you?
Well, this is my first time voting because I was just turned 18 right before I was able to vote. So I voted for Trump, but I'm primarily a Democrat.
Oh, Jesus
Senator,
Christ.
who'd you vote for?
God damn it.
It wasn't Trump. Let me throw out a question.
Okay, I'm going to say this. It's not easy. I'm going to say it's not easy to hold both truths at the same time in the face of some of the shit people do.
You are living shock of all shocks in the wealthiest country in the history of the world. Do you feel that down here?
No. People are not surviving. We just had our food bank yesterday. We usually pack for 80 people. We served 102 yesterday. It is getting worse. Nobody's surviving right now.
My husband works at the hospital, and there are several ODs every single day.
Only a town of 6,000.
Yeah, we're not a big town.
Several ODs every day?
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you this, and you may not know the answer, nobody does, because again, this is not just the West Virginia issue. We got it terrible in Vermont. So why are people doing drugs?
In my thing that I see, because I work a lot in addiction, is it's mental health issues.
It's what?
Mental health issues.
Lack of jobs.
Lack of jobs, poverty.
There we go. There we go. You're getting there. Good job. It's poverty. It's, yes, lack of support. Like, this is like, sweet Jesus. I really wish that our educational system had not failed so fucking tragically. Because it's almost like, just given enough time with the right influence around them, these people can eventually get to the answer that is correct. It's not because people are black. It's not because people are hateful. It's not because people are trans. It's because people that lack hope, that don't have resources, that don't know who they are or what they're supposed to be in this country, because there's literally no fucking lane for them, because they really just want you to get a fucking job in a factory, shut up, and die. Like, that's why people get addicted to drugs and alcohol. Because our parents did. Our parents' did. Because our parents, literally, my parents, I didn't have parents. My mom tried. My dad wasn't there. But they were abused. So they abused us. In this generation, my generation, I don't know if Generation X did it. We're a bunch of feral fucking people, to be honest. We're feral. But like maybe the millennials, the way I talk to my children, the way I do things with my children is so different than the way that my lack of parents would have done. Other people's parents that I saw did. In the way that I talk to my children. I don't tell my children, you shouldn't do drugs because it'll ruin your life. I tell them, if you do drugs, if you do drink alcohol at an early age, it is going to inhibit your ability to live the best possible life that you can. And I say to my kids, I go, I know you're going to look at me funny because you know I drink. You know I drink alcohol. And that's because it's an addiction. Because it has altered the chemistry in my brain to make me feel at times as though I must do it. That is something that you're best living without. And that's why right now, more kids than ever before don't drink alcohol. It's because they're better. They're getting better. But there's still a lot of work to go there. And the more that we get people out of poverty, the more that we get people out of abusive childhoods, the more support that we show to people, the more hope that we give to the young people by doing something about things like climate change and the job field and the economy and our relationships with other countries in this world, the more that we do something about all of these factors that MIT has literally said, if we don't do something about them by 2040, the entire fucking globe is going to collapse. If we do something about those things, you're going to see people using less drugs, using less alcohol, and having better mental health.
Lack of support for our veterans.
You finding many veterans doing drugs?
Oh, yes. And homeless.
And homeless.
And that irritates me. They stood up, they fought for our country, and we can't even afford to give them housing.
I always wondered, how did so many drugs get into this state? Do we have thoughts about that? How did so many? Yeah.
The doctor's pushing it.
There you
Talk
go.
about that, yeah.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
My mother was an addict, and that's how she got addicted. Was she had a back injury? The doctor kept prescribing medicine. Eventually, that medicine didn't work.
And why does the doctor push it? Why does the doctor push it? It's not because he's a bad person. It is because capitalism. Because capitalism doesn't have humanity. It lacks this ability. It is an economic driver. It is an innovation driver. It is a competitive driver, but it does not have humanity. And if we want to get to the core of almost everything that happens in the society, whether it's disinformation, misinformation, drug addiction, or the way that our politicians vote against the very positive things that could be helping our society, whether it's climate change or economically, it all comes back to the fact that we are driven to be successful in a financial manner.
She had to start doing the harder stuff. Sadly, she passed away from a drug overdose. So, I mean, I understand the addiction part of it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to fight. And addiction just doesn't affect the person that's doing it. It affects the whole family, the whole area.
Solid.
Grow up around this kind of poverty long enough, and you start to lose faith in the political system that allowed it to happen. While Trump may put up huge numbers at the ballot box, nearly half of West Virginians don't even show up to vote at all. One of the highest non-voting rates in the country.
And I think the message is not complicated. People throughout the country, especially in rural areas, feel neglected. They are hurting financially. The Democratic Party, by and large, has kind of ignored those people, turned its back on them.
Not always, though, right?
Not always. Oh, no.
Especially here. I mean, it was 80 years of Democrats before it flipped.
You got it. This is one of the strongest Democratic states in the country. You're a strong union state, working class state. But I think what happened in West Virginia is a perfect example of the decline of the Democratic Party nationally.
There you go. And this is what I keep trying to say to people is the ability to hold two things at once. And that is, I do not believe that you should be eating each other. I do not believe that you guys should be raging on each other over disagreeing on one or two issues in the Democratic Party when you agree on 95% of what you believe in. However, I do think that you should be able to accept that things within the Democratic Party have failed and that we should criticize those things, but that we should do it in the correct way. Many times you guys hear me criticize streamers on YouTube because every time that a left-wing streamer does something that either the left wing doesn't like or the right wing doesn't like, there are countless content creators on the left that make videos strictly for monetary reasons that criticize that person, that call out the shit they do. It isn't a conversation in which you're saying to somebody, hey, you had this opinion or you did this thing and I disagree with it. It is bald-faced. It is right there out in front of everybody for them to see it, that you're doing it because you want to be more popular. You want more clicks and views. You want more money. You believe that you should be above everybody else because this other person that has the exact same values as you is occupying a space that you want. And we need to get away from that. We need to be able to say what you should be saying as a left-leaning person, and that a rising tide lifts all boats, and that if I can share my criticisms with a person or of the party and I can affect positive change, that is much better than self-enrichment. And it sometimes boggles my mind because there are so many things about the left that I disagree with that I want to talk about in a positive manner, that I want to talk about fixing, that I want to talk about solutions, that I want to talk about doing something for. When we talk about the reason that minorities have moved over to Trump, mostly I'm talking about Latinos, because the black folk in our communities vote almost strictly fucking Democratic. But the main reason we see minorities move away from the Democratic Party is because the Democratic Party has made a lot of promises to minorities. The Democratic Party has made a lot of promises to trans people, to LGBT people. When I say trans, I mean everybody, LGBT people as a whole. And they have failed those promises. That should be spoken about. But we shouldn't be destroying ourselves in the process of trying to create positive change. Those two things don't work together. So what Bernie says there, like, it's true. The Democratic Party has declined, but the value still exists. And we should really try to figure out a way to do it better than the last generation of Democrats did.
To understand what happened to the Democratic Party in West Virginia, you need to understand the history of coal.
I'm a mine worker, generational mine worker.
Didn't look for it. Too busy taking profits.
All of us.
There was a time when coal companies controlled almost everything, and speaking out against the boss could get you beaten, evicted, or worse. But in 1921, all of that boiled over at the Battle of Blair Mountain, the largest labor uprising in U.S. history.
Way back when, in the 1920s, it wasn't quite so civil. But we got to respect those people, our ancestors.
The mine wars, our own history here, is kept out of the textbooks, really. It's not in the popular imagination. I mean, that's been scrubbed because I think it's dangerous. You know, it's a threat. It's a threat to power.
Yeah.
Those early fights built the United Mine Workers of America and inspired a national labor movement that won the 8-hour day, paid vacations, and the weekend. And for decades, it was the Democratic Party who defended the unions.
And Joe Biden defended the unions, to be fucking honest. That isn't different. I think that, I mean, there's definitely been people that have not, unfortunately. But that just shows, like, if we can get together, like, these are the things that we can accomplish. If we choose to fight together, if the working class chooses to fight against the actual enemy in this fucking country, and that is upper class, ultra fucking wealthy, billionaire oligarchs and their fucking corporations.
So working class West Virginians kept that fire going at the ballot box. But coal burns fast, and eventually the flame died out.
Nobody thought about what to do after.
Within a few decades, we went from over 100,000 coal miners to around 10,000 today. And only a fraction of those still unionized. As the union shrank, so did the backbone of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So the Democrats shifted their strategy.
100%.
They left the coal towns and the haulers to chase corporate money and suburban votes someplace else.
For every blue-collar Democrat we will lose in Western PA, we will pick up 2, 3.
Okay. That's enough internet. God damn it. Don't show me the collapse. I don't want to have to go through that pain again. Oh, fucking Chuck Schumer. Oh, fucking, hold on. Oh, right here. Oh, it hurts. Ah, I need more sparkling water. God damn, fucking Chuck. Fuck! God damn, I'm trying not to be mad. Ah! This is why I need my fucking punching bag. Okay, all right, we're gonna get through this. Gritting my teeth. Okay.
Moderate Republicans in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and you can repeat that in Ohio,
I am going to
Illinois,
fucking lose it.
Wisconsin.
The whole valley here was Democrat for years and years, and here the last 5 or 6 years, it has evolved into red.
West Virginia's turn from deep blue to solid red happened fast, all while hospitals struggled to stay open, classrooms homes emptied out, and opioids were pumped into these hills. Then came Trump, who promised to turn back the clock.
Coal is... Bro, all he had to do was put on that fucking stupid hat. That's all it took! All he had to do was put on the fucking mining hat, and it was like, this is our dude! God damn it! I'm trying so hard.
Coming back, clean coal is coming back. 100%.
Donald Trump says he's going to bring back jobs to Appalachia, to the coal mining areas.
Yeah, they may do it.
You can see President Trump's bringing in all kind of industry. There's going to be jobs up the kazoo.
Oh, no.
Why is Trump president? It's not complicated, in my view.
No, it's not.
The Democratic Party was about protecting the status quo and tinkering around the edges.
Yeah.
You know, we promise you we're not going to do anything bold. We're very bipartisan. We're going to work with the business community. We love billionaires. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? And Trump comes along and says the system is broken.
Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why
Bro, he was like, I broke it. He literally told Hillary Clinton that the fucking, when she said he cheats on his taxes, he's like, why shouldn't I? God damn it. Ah, fuck. Okay.
alone can fix it.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's right. The system is broken.
He was honest about that.
Now, his solutions only make it worse.
Oh,
Trump,
fuck me.
for all his promises, has not brought the coal industry back. But with the big beautiful bill, his signature piece of legislation, he made his mark on West Virginia. It's estimated that more than 50,000 West Virginians will be cut from Medicaid.
Yep.
At least 7 hospitals in the state are at risk of shutting down.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I can hear that and say, that's fucking sad, man.
As many as 84,000 people will lose access to food assistance because of this bill.
So in this bill, Trump's big, beautiful bill, why do you think they cut Medicaid? To save government money so that, what?
They can give tax to their donors.
Exactly. It's not only $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1%, it's a huge tax break to large corporations as well.
So why do they need to have a tax break?
All right.
I
Now
could use
you're
a tax
asking
break.
me-
I mean, I'm being real. I know I pay like 26% taxes.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I could use that money.
Look, these people on top are not nice people. They want more and more. They don't have $1 million. That's Trump change.
Yeah.
And we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars in some case.
When you live here, it feels like a poor country.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
I mean, when you say we're the wealthiest, like you said that several times yesterday, and I was like, is it true though? Because like,
That's a very good point.
yeah.
In aggregate, that's what, look, if we're sitting here and I'm worth $1 billion and all of you are broke, you add it all together, you divide it, we're very wealthy, right?
Yeah, and you know why? We're the wealthiest country because of GDP. GDP is your production. We are the wealthiest country because we produce the most, because we are the most valuable country because we consume the most. We are the only reason that the United States of America has anything at all to be proud of is because of working class Americans. It's fucking insane. This is like Jerry Jones getting fucking all of the props for the Dallas Cowboys. Not that they should get any props nowadays. Fly, Eagles, fly. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, what does it take for people to wake up and understand that everything that they've done, they can be proud of? That you can say to yourself, yeah, we started off bad. We started off embarrassing. Our history is shameful. But we came back big. But we didn't come back big because of billionaires. We came back big because of us.
We're all worth
It's
$100
fucking
million.
crazy.
But I got $1 billion and you got nothing. That's America.
Fucking crazy.
And if I say that I think the United States should do what every other major country on earth does, guarantee health care to all people as a
Just
human
a start.
right, are you going to think I'm a communist and a terrible person?
Yes.
I think if people listen, if you talk the way that
Yes.
you did, and you're so reasonable, like they've painted you in a bad light, and it actually makes me very angry because
You
know,
should
see
be.
things and you believe it. I'll just be honest. I haven't really seen you talk before. I haven't really I don't follow politics that much, and so the last couple days before this, I started watching some of your speeches, and I started watching your interviews, and I was shocked. I was like, oh,
Not as bad as they had told you, huh?
this is not how he's portrayed in the media, right?
We're told that the biggest divide in America is between left and right. But Bernie came here to flip that story on its head.
I think that whether you're in rural West Virginia or in Burlington, Vermont, you got the same exact issues. And I think we don't let people divide us up. We got to come together to fight for all of us.
Over 100 years ago, they called us rednecks because striking workers from all different races wore red bandanas around their necks as they fought and died for respect and a living wage. That history was mostly erased from our textbooks, but it never went away. It's still here, scattered all across the state.
It's only going to be there for about 6 more months until Trump gets a hold of those exhibits. Just a heads up.
If you know where to look.
My grandfather fought at Blair Mountain.
Your grandfather fought at Blair Mountain?
Yes.
What do you think this country at this moment needs to learn from your grandfather who fought at Blair Mountain?
Well, you just can't stand and let them step on you. You got to get up and fight.
So that is what our struggle is about, is to take on the greed of these people and say, you know what? You cannot and will not have it all.
Bernie Sanders is 84 years old. He's not running for president. But maybe what he's after is way bigger than one election.
How do we get the corporate wing of the Democratic Party, who is just as guilty of taking money from billionaire causes, to embrace a progressive working class agenda because it's about time?
What's your name?
Max.
You're going to lead it, Max. Look, this state was once one of the strongest Democratic states in the country. And I think people gave up on the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party gave up on them. So take it back. Don't ask, take it.
You have been to how many Bernie rallies now?
3.
And over what period of time did that take place?
2 days. The first night was just real eye-opening for me. It was like a whole mind shift of my whole belief system of how we could come together as a people.
Yeah.
We all want our kids to have a safe place to live. We all want our kids to have food. We all want our kids to have health care. There's no difference. We all need to fight together.
Yeah.
Because if we're fighting each other, we're not going to ever get anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Did you expect to walk out of here with a shirt?
I did not expect to walk out of here with a shirt.
That is fantastic. And, that's the thing, is that it really isn't. It's the thing that makes the left great, and oftentimes also makes the left very hard to be a part of, is diversity. It's diversity of thought. It's diversity of culture. It's diversity of planning. There's a lot that goes into it. And I remember this meme, and it said, what is it? It's like people that are new to the left, something like, or what is it? People that are offended by the left are weak because people on the left are offended by the left, and we just deal with it all the time. It's something to that point. I've probably messed it up, but you get my point. It's like, that's actually what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have, when we talk about debate, I think people mistake what you see on the internet nowadays, and you think that's debate. That's not debate. You should have healthy debate. You should have people within the left that can criticize people like Chuck Schumer, people like Hakeem Jeffries, people like Cory Booker, and still be able to say, Like, I think that Hakeem Jeffries is too soft. But if I spoke to Hakeem Jeffries and he said, look, man, I'm pro-choice. I'm pro getting you universal health care. I'm pro-union. I'm pro-immigrant. And here, let me prove it to you by showing you the evidence of all of these things. And he showed me votes. Let's say that. I know all of you guys are in disbelief right now that these things exist. But if, let's say he did, hypothetically speaking, guys, come with me down this fantasy path that he said, let me show you the evidence of my votes on these situations and how I tried to make this happen for you. I could still agree that Hakeem Jeffries is too soft and not the person for the moment. And at the same time, still agree that I still have the foundational belief that Hakeem Jeffries does. Now, when it comes to things that are very important to me, and that is my wife and my daughter having access to healthcare, seeing people given a chance to come into this country and provide their families with a good life and be productive parts of our society. There are places that I can disagree with you guys and still understand that we are still fighting for the same cause. And that means at certain times you're going to have to look at, like that lady who said, I voted for Trump twice, but I listened to Bernie at 3 different, rallies. And I have to tell you, he changed my mind. And you're going to have to look at her and say, welcome aboard. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And check out that video on the screen now.